Hello, nerds. Welcome to GeekBeast, part of the Geekish Network. This is your daily rundown of geek news. However, it is Friday, and that's happy hour. That means we do about everything but the news. We literally talk about everything. I'm your host, Chuck, and with me, we have Randy. Say what's up to the people, Randy.
Yo, what's up, GeekBeast? Chuck, what are we talking about tonight, man?
Okay, we're going to get some news stories in here. We can give our opinions about them. Hold on. Disney Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser is shutting down. Disney World is shutting down the Galactic Star Cruiser, the immersive Star Wars themed hotel that costs around $5,000 for a 2-night stay. In an update of Disney website, the company says the Star Cruiser will host its final guests from September 28th to September 30th. Disney Galactic Star Cruiser hasn't been around for long, as it only first opened its doors to guests in March of 2022.
Whew.
So about a year and a half.
And we were still kind of in a pandemic, but it was Florida, so they probably didn't care about that. But I don't know. That's a tough time to launch any sort of project, right? That's especially one is that expensive because you're only catering to kind of a specific crowd, I would imagine.
To the crowd, I am an ex-employee of Disney and have been part of this project review. So there's a lot I can say about it. But yes, they're shutting it down.
Was it cool? Was it a dope?
It's a cool project. It's a totally immersive theater where you have a starship full of actors and then you have guests. And you can't really tell who's who, except in the finer linings. You usually are the actors in the finer linings. You dress up as a Star Wars character and you fly into Batu.
So the whole idea was that it was a literally cruise ship. But essentially like you said, you're flying into Batu like a cruise ship would, like going to Mexico.
Well,
and then so you have a captain, you have actors, you have entertainment, and the whole hotel is supposedly the cruiser itself.
Yeah, it's the cruiser itself. So you can go to the deck. You can see the captain. You can actually talk to the captain. You can actually participate in helping the captain out on certain tasks. And you go into the cafeteria and stuff. People are there. You talk to them. They give you hints and clues, and you have to decide if you're going to be part of the First Order or you're going to be part of the rebellion.
So is it just the price that was the problem? Poor marketing?
No. I think all that was fine because people spend about 10 grand on a Disney vacation.
So what was the cost for the clothes?
It could be just that it's hard to maintain. They probably didn't have the revenue they expected to have. It could be not, the attendance may not be high enough. The marketing's there. This is Disney. Disney markets everything the same way.
So what was it that didn't get people in to say it was worth this?
I don't know. Bob Iger says the downturn in the economy, in preparation of the downturn in the economy.
But luxury, because wouldn't this be considered a luxury item?
No, not for not for Disney World travelers. Your average Disney World traveler spends 4 days in a hotel, and they spend about this much easily. This way, it is cheaper for you to fly to France, stay in the 5-star accommodations, and have them cater your food than to go to Disney World.
So that's what I'm saying. So usually luxury items don't get impacted as badly by the economy.
Mm-hmm. But why would I stay at the Star Wars Galactic Cruiser when I can get an additional 2 to 3 days for the same price?
If it's a luxury item, that doesn't matter.
It is a luxury item. If not, if you have 500 rooms, they only get half occupancy.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So,
in order to be successful hotel in Disney, you're looking at 90% occupancy all year round.
Right, but what is the target for it? If it's the target for millionaires, the pricing
is not. It's for families. It's for families. It's for return guests to Disney who come to Disney World every other year, every 3 years.
So the $2,500 a night isn't a problem.
I don't think so. No, I don't think it's a problem.
I also think too.
I would have been.
It's such an immersive experience.
People, not that many people in the Star Wars. You have to think about it.
Right?
You have the cross section of people that want to be in Star Wars, not people that like Star Wars. People that actually want to actively participate in Star Wars, because you're not just staying in a hotel. You're actively participating in a LARP. It's a LARPing experience.
Yeah,
so you have those people. So after the first year, you have all those people come through, right?
So the demand for it,
is low,
strong enough.
Yeah. If they made it just a traditional hotel, like there's that house in Florida, that Star Wars theme, that the Airbnb that people stay in, that's an amazing looking house in Star Wars theme, right? That house probably gets high-end residents come in every week, and it looks like a Star Wars themed house. Where they're going to Star Wars Galactic Cruiser, you want to kind of dress up in a Star Wars gear. You want to buy the costume, so you're spending about a couple of $1,000s on that. You get a little thing. You spend your time in Batuu. You can go anywhere in the park once you're there. When you go into Batuu, but
it was like the other thing too, isn't it? Kind of like, from what I understand, it's almost like a linear experience, because there's a storyline.
There's a storyline.
To it, and then like we're looking on the screen now, like there's these actors that are part of that storyline.
Absolutely, it's a complete LARPing experience.
So I had heard also too that like you couldn't necessarily go to the park, like you kind of were stuck at the hotel, and that was one of the other things people were.
You can go,
but then the other thing, like, it just looks so expensive for them to run, right?
Yes.
Just think about like how much they have to pay the actors.
You have hundreds of actors.
You have
hundreds of actors,
and that can't be cheap. Right. So
and the actors have to be immersed in that they can answer you any way they're supposed to as their character.
And I get that. So, but still, it's just not a market for this type of immersive experience.
There is, but they expected it to be more robust than what it really was.
Right. Like so it's not like it's not sustainable. This market
is not sustainable. Yeah. No, they made a Star Wars themed hotel.
Because I think you're right, and even me, like I'd love to do this as a Star Wars street. But man, I look at that price tag and I'm just like, yo, I'm not gonna do that. Like
I just like the supply and demand just wasn't equal.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, you got to go all the way to Florida too, right?
Yep.
You got to figure out plane tickets. You got to do vacation days, all that stuff. So it's like,
but you get a 4-person suite, just like a cruise ship. They treat it just like a cruise. Like a Disney cruise is about this price. Disney cruise will cost you $3,000, $4,000. So they treat it just like a Disney cruise.
But it's not the same appeal. It's like I could go on a real Disney cruise, or I could go to this experience.
Yes.
The audience for one just didn't seem like it was there.
Yes. They figured all Star Wars lovers would go do this. This is what Star Wars lovers would do. And no, it's for people that want to act in Star Wars.
Yeah, but I won't say
people don't want to act in Star Wars.
A lot of Star Wars people that would be interested in it can't really afford that.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't want to act in Star Wars. You don't want to be an act. You want to go to the Star Wars hotel, but you don't want to be an active participant. You don't want to do all the activities. Sometimes you just want to chill out in your room and sleep and take a nap. Sometimes you want to go ride Slinky Dog in Toy Story Land.
So it sounds like it's a lot of problems then. It's the pricing, it's the experience. It sounds like a bad idea.
The pricing, the feedback when I was there it had nothing to do with price. People were okay with the price. It's just that there's not enough audience of people that want to participate.
So it sounds like a bad idea.
It's just participating. Yeah. But that was not the initial thought was that if you like Star Wars, you'll like this.
Or not necessarily maybe a bad idea, more just bad execution.
Yeah.
Because
right? Like you're saying, Chuck, it's like if there was it's like they're banking on you staying in there and doing the experience. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, right. It's like not everybody's going to want to do all of that, you know?
No.
And I'm looking at this and like, it does look pretty dope.
But the ones who would want to do it can't necessarily afford it.
Yeah, I can't afford this.
Yeah. So I guess it has bad intersections.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a kind of a multitude of things. It's like the people who can necessarily afford it,
but
not as interested in the entire experience, and the people who would really want to do it can't necessarily afford it.
Yeah. Yeah, probably so. Probably that cross section there. Yeah. But then they're thinking like these are for people that go on Disney cruises. You got to think people spend about 10 grand on a Disney cruise too.
But as you said, those people don't necessarily want this whole
immersive experience.
They want to go on the cruise and look at shit and eat and like that. They don't.
Let the kids play. Let the kids play in a very safe environment.
Right. They're not necessarily as.
And the thing about cruises is that you can do whatever you want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
This seems like it's like almost on rails where you have to do it a certain way. You have to do it in a certain way to get something out of the experience, or
you can come on this experience and do nothing and still have a good experience on the ship by just interacting with the characters. You don't have to play the story.
Because you can be a person that wants to go on a cruise. You just don't necessarily want to go through all of this. You can enjoy Star Wars. You're like, oh, I like Star Wars, but I'd rather go on a cruise and do this. And then some people who may like, oh, I would love to do this for a week. They're like, well, I don't know if I want to drop, $5,000.
It almost seems like this is like a really expensive beta test, right?
Kinda, it's the first of its kind.
And exactly. And I'm saying like it's maybe just ahead of its time because that like if they took another stab at it,
a lot had to do with
it would be really good.
It has its issues and bugs. However, you see people there in plain clothes, right? And the problem I have with Batu and anything is you see people in plain clothes. Like when you're in Batu at night, it looks like Star Wars. It feels like Star Wars. But when the park is full of people in 100+ degree weather and everybody's sweating with little fans and in their shorts and strollers being pushed around, it doesn't feel like Star Wars. It feels like a theme park. But at night, when nobody's there, it feels like Batu.
And that's even more limiting than I feel.
Yeah. So for this, you bring people, you have some people dressed in character that are all in for this LARPing experience. Because there's a multitude of ways to go through this story. The multiple endings for everybody. Like everybody's story is slightly different. And you have the same finale scenes and the set pieces, but it's an interesting experience.
Maybe it should be sold as more like a plus package or something to that nature. For like the people who are really interested in doing this and the people who can afford it, because it feels like those two audiences don't necessarily mix in enough where it can sustain.
This is a really cool tech too. I remember seeing some images of this. The fact that they're using an LED as almost like a window into space.
It is window. It goes all the way around the ship. So if you blow up something on the starboard side, if you're in the front of the ship and you blow something on the starboard side and you see the debris, you can literally follow debris all around the ship.
Yeah.
Maybe it costs so much to get the people who can't afford it. Like,
what's that?
You would be there. We would all be there. But it's like, oh, can I afford like $2,500 a night?
But it's for 4 people though. It's for 4 people.
Then why didn't people do it? I guess that's what I keep coming. It's you're saying it's affordable. But people didn't want it,
because people don't want to be caught in Star Wars for 2 days. People don't want to be caught in Star Wars for 2 days.
So then they're not really attracted to it. They just
they're not attracted to it. No. If this was the Princess experience, and they had 2 days, a hotel dedicated to the princesses, and all the princesses did is walk around the hotel, and all the staff. You saw Lemire and Cogsworth, and you saw like Pinocchio and stuff walking around the hotel as like they are in the movies. That hotel would be packed.
So we're saying people don't care about Star Wars.
Yes, not enough people care about Star Wars. It's a great idea, but not enough people care about Star Wars for it. Like your diehard Star Wars fans, you exhaust them in the first couple of years. So the drop off is going to be high. And Disney hotels are always filled. Disney doesn't have a problem packing in hotels. Their hotels. They have no problem packing in their
But then this
hotels.
was a bad idea.
Probably so. Probably so. But they didn't see that coming. And it was a test. It's like, can this type of experience work? And let's go all out for it.
Yeah.
There's some things I would have done differently to improve the experience. For example, you're on the Star Cruiser, you're on the Halcyon, but you take a shuttle down to Batu. I would have created like all the planets in Star Wars and create little biospheres for all the planets. Like this hotel doesn't have a swimming pool, but I would have put one on Tatooine.
Oh, Tatooine? Why Tatooine?
Or I'll put one not the desert, the water planet. What's the water planet? Damn it.
Oh, okay, but I get it.
Or so like like you're saying, like here's the garden, and you're in the garden like on like Endor or something, right?
Yeah, Endor, stuff like that. Yeah. Like you're flying down to different planets. You're warping to the different planets.
Mm-hmm. You could be on Corsica, like walk through the halls of justice and where the Senate
like Moncala. Like Moncala could be the water world.
You could, you do like look at this. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's always things that you could do differently, but
they could have done, and they could have made domes out there, just big domes. You take the shuttle, and you warp into you go into this. You get the swimming pool. And the swimming pool is on the water world of Star Wars, or you go to the sauna and spa, and that's on Tatooine, or you go to a restaurant that's in Tatooine.
No, nobody's going to Tatooine those shitty ass restaurant, but
they would. People would go there.
I get what you're saying.
But people would go there.
I don't think a Tatooine is fine cuisine. I'm like, give me out.
It's not fine cuisine. Nothing in Star Wars is fine cuisine except whatchamacallit.
You go on
capital city.
Corsica and have a
Corsica. Nice, that's about it.
Yeah, you have a nice.
Yeah, but outside of that, nothing is fine dining. That's like being in a castle.
Yeah. Let's say nobody going.
But Batu is on the outskirts of the galaxy. It's like one of the last places you get to before you leave the galaxy.
What? Kylo Ren shows up?
Is it in the outer?
Yeah, Kylo Ren shows up in the story. Yep.
Okay.
They also have an AI in every room, so you can ask the AI questions. The AI can tell you how you're performing on the mission, how many missions you completed, what you did on Batu, if it helped out, who, to look for certain things. But yeah, Kylo Ren shows up and everything. Mm-hmm. They even light up the lightsaber.
Yeah, I think I saw something where they they lit up the lightsaber.
They light up the lightsaber.
It looks really, really fun.
Yeah. It's sad they're shutting down the Halcyon.
Rey shows up too.
Yeah, Rey shows up. She lights up the lightsaber in front of you.
Yeah.
It's a full immersive experience. It's amazing.
Hopefully they open up one here in California. And
hopefully
they make it better.
Do.
And make it better.
Yeah, it takes some time.
That's gonna be a hard sale, though. That's gonna be a hard sale.
Make it better and cheaper.
I mean, that would have to be the thing, because how much they spend? Yeah. How much they spend on this?
I think the price point was rather high. But I think people will spend $3,000 for it.
How much did they spend on this?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just curious for the person who pitches it.
They probably spend like 200-300 million on it.
Yeah, so like now let's spend another 200-300 million on a project.
They could repurpose it. I mean, Disney repurposes everything.
That's gonna be, especially in the age where they're cutting back on lots of things. I'd just be interested.
And
it works like it works in my company. That's gonna be a hard sale.
Yeah, it feels very exclusive, and there's not enough for you in Batu to do. Like you do all the activities which are on your data pad, but there's not characters you just run into in Batu. The cast members are aware of you and they can talk to you about your story, but there's not like standout pivotal characters in Batu just hanging out there. It needs to be done. And also, I think Disney, Don't quote me on this. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I think they're going to update the Star Wars world Batu. Then they're going to update Batu again. So this may be a reason why they close it down.
Maybe.
It may be temporary. All we know.
And to integrate it more into Star
Wars. It's
projects.
not the first time they've shut down $220 million projects in Disney World and Disneyland.
I can't imagine it is. But do they then do the same thing?
I don't know. They bring stuff back better and different. Like there's times where projects they spend $200 million and projects don't even come to fruition.
Mm-hmm. No, I can see that.
You don't even see the project.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, at Disney they see the project because they work on it. Yeah, but in reality, but we never see it. The public never sees it.
Yeah, it can be changed, new leadership, all kinds of things. Yeah, projects like that always come. Yeah.
So to them, what's $200 million? We got our money back out of it.
Did they?
I think so.
Yeah. So that's what I asked them.
They got their money back, and you know, it's hard to sustain it. The longevity of it's not there. Let's think of something better, or let's revamp it, or let's fix the issues we have with it. You know, there are issues. You can go online, look at the reviews. There are issues with it,
but there's issues with everything. Wouldn't be? I mean, there's no
people don't complain the same way about the cruises. Okay. And so it's supposed to feel like.
Okay.
The Disney cruises are amazing the way I hear it. Everybody's like, yo, if you've never been on a Disney cruise, you never felt luxury.
That's cool.
And so that's what I've never been on a Disney cruise. I wanted to go on the Wish.
I've heard mixed reviews. I mean, I've heard great things, but like then it's like some people they have bad stories about a cruise. And I feel like that's applicable to any project.
Mm-hmm.
It's like no project is like, oh, it was perfect and there's nothing wrong with it. Like everything has something where they can create enhancements for it. So I didn't having some things bad with it, some of the issues that was like that would cause it to sink if the overall quality of it is good.
Yep. And Iger got rid of his metaverse team. This is a metaverse project. This is part of the metaverse. This is you create a world where people actually live in it and participate in it. It's hard. That's very, very hard. Like immersive dinner theater is just a dinner. You're still eating the dinner, watching the show. This is where you're participating in the show and everybody on the ship participates.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody can influence the story.
And maybe that's not part of Iger's strategy.
Yeah, and that's hard to do. That's hard to maintain. Can you come back more than once? Is it worthwhile to come back more than once?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things behind it.
How much does it cost to make people want to come back more than once?
Yeah, more than once. Yeah.
Like, oh, I've already seen that.
So this is like the beta. This is like the first. So it's interesting.
$5,000 to come back to see something that I already saw again.
Yes.
That's the question.
And you have to
come. Some people might. Some people might.
But you have to convince me that if when I'm there, that if I come back again, it's going to be different,
or that it's just going to be better.
Yeah, because I pay $69 for video games.
Absolutely,
$5,200 is way more, and video games don't get another replay. Like people have favorite games, like people play Zelda 30 times and play Zelda in every iteration. And but play Mario the same way and play God of War 2 to 3 times. Elden Ring, God forbid those people, they play it like 5-6 times. But it's just that they love those games. But then they come back, it feels different to them. They can do different things. Does this present itself to be such an experience that I know I can come back and do something different? Okay, I'm this time on the rebel side. Now I'm on the first order side. Is that delta big enough to make me want to pay $5,200 to come back for it?
People doing all of those side quests.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, it reminds me of just thinking about like how much people spend on a game like WoW, right?
Yeah.
World of Warcraft. Like you got $15 a month subscription, plus you got to buy the game. And granted, there's not too many microtransactions in there right now, but there are. But imagine like games like League of Legends, like how many people. I remember one time there was like this trend on Twitter where people were like looking at how much they spent on the store, like on the Riot store, for skins, and there was like in the thousands, bro.
Thousands.
And they were just like buying skins and stuff for like in League of Legends. Like what?
When we ran PlayStation Home, people were spending like $10,000 in the store. It's crazy. So I can imagine League of Legends where I'm buying skins and it changes my character that I battle with. So I can imagine. I might as well Fortnite's breaking in right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that too. I mean, that's the reason why, Unreal can start, take on Apple, because they got so much fucking money.
So much fucking money.
Because of Fortnite,
Yep. They got so Fortnite and they got a sugar daddy. They got
Unreal, and they got and they're owned by partly owned by Tencent.
Tencent, yep.
I mean, how much investment was just in Unreal Engine? Like how much?
Yeah.
So it's
Unreal dropped billions into the Mega Grant program. Yep. That is to fund people's outside projects.
See, that's kind of like hoping with like Disney. That's probably what they're hoping too, right? Is that they get this high-end clientele, come to the hotel, spend it, and then also drop all this money in buying merch, buying all of this stuff, right?
Yep.
And it just wasn't happening.
Yep. They didn't have all the components, right? Like, I'm not sure if they had the store open yet, the clothing store, like the Boopity Bop boutique. The Boopity Bop. They should have had that set up for Star Wars. You come here, we'll dress you in a lightsaber. We'll put you in all the gear. Matter of fact,
I still need to get my lightsaber.
I don't think they can put you in a lightsaber. I don't think they can put you in a lightsaber. Nor can you have the lightsaber around the ship because you're not a Jedi.
Yeah.
Because that breaks the immersion of the story.
Because it isn't like $100 to get the one from Galaxy's Edge.
Easily.
It's like $100, right, to pay for that experience.
The lightsaber training, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you can get lightsaber training?
Yeah.
You build your own lightsaber.
Build your own lightsaber. You pay for it. Yeah.
And you keep it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't been yet. I still haven't been. But I'll definitely, whenever I do go, I'm definitely going to save up to do that. I want that.
But on the ship, you can't have a lightsaber running around the ship deck because nobody can be a Jedi, and they're hunting and killing Jedi in the show. And nobody wants to be in Star Wars and not be a Jedi.
I don't.
Or a Sith.
Yep. I don't want to. Yeah, if I'm gonna be in Star Wars, I want to be a Force user of some in some capacity.
You mean you don't want to be a engine tech or?
Nope. I want to be an engine tech in Star Trek. In Star Wars, I want to be a Force user.
Yep.
I barely want to watch Star Wars shows that don't have Force users.
Yep. So that's what they're up against. So there's a whole lot of things they're up against, right? The experience is not there. It's parts of the experience. Is the lemon worth the squeeze? Like if you could be a Force user and you can put your hand up against the wall and the door is open or something happens, or you can levitate a stormtrooper in the middle of the deck. People pay $5,000 every time for that shit.
Yeah, I would.
Every time for that shit.
I don't know if I would, if I could, but yeah, if I had the means to, right?
Yeah. Could you imagine
you walking in the Force and have my lightsaber come into my hand and then I light it up for some shit like that? Oh yeah.
You want that. You want that action.
Oh yeah.
You want that action.
Yeah, absolutely. I would.
Yeah, people pay for that. But just to be a civilian, on the starship, that's pretending to be a spy for the Republic, the rebellion or the First Order.
It depends. It's just Star Wars. I wouldn't. Star Trek. Star Trek. I would. And then like if I could be on the bridge. If I could give commands, if I could do those type of things.
You can do that. You can do that at the hotel.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting if they did like a Star Trek hotel, right?
Yeah,
they used to have a Star Trek hotel.
Oh, they did. That's right.
In Vegas.
But as immersive as this?
No.
That's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. If it was as immersive as this,
I would. If I could go to the holodeck,
that would be fucking amazing.
Yeah, and then the holodeck is you have a built-in reason to have a different experience because you have the holodeck. You'd be like, all right, let's go in. We're gonna do the
holodeck show.
Yeah, the holodeck. You're gonna go in the holodeck, and you're like, okay, we're gonna be doing like HMS Bounty. Yeah, right.
Panic rooms. Yeah. You could go into the beaming up place. Like, I would do all that.
Get attacked by the Borg. And
then I would do all those things.
Yeah, like you can see, you're getting.
Maybe we should pitch this to Paramount to do a proper hotel. But I think they're gonna look at the Star Wars one and step back from it.
And that might be true too.
It's
just different audiences, like it's not universally the same. Like Chuck was saying to his point, if I'm just a civilian in Star Wars,
but see, I started to think about that. The Trekkies, man, they're even more rabid than Star Wars fans.
They are. They are.
When you really think about it, like they are way more rabid. Like my sister's a Trekkie. She used to wear a Bajoran earring to work. Right? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it just, I could see they would go even crazier for that. So, like you're like a Star Wars immersive experience, but like on a hotel. Like, you're on a mission, with the Enterprise,
man, you get big,
right?
You go to a
down,
Yeah, people would love that. People would love that.
You could go to
right? Yeah, like you can do like laser tag. You can be like laser tag, right? You can go like, okay, you can build that into the whole thing. You're like, okay, we're on an away mission. Put it on, get your phasers. But there might be some action. You go down there, and then like you literally still have to start shooting at people, right? Yeah. Like laser tag, right? And then.
Or if you got like multi-day package, the first day you're going to be a cadet, right? You get stuff. Then you get a sign.
That would be cool. That would be really, really cool.
But Star Wars could have worked something, but instead of what you say,
Star Wars doesn't work the same way as Star Trek, but I do get what you're saying about the popular attractions in Star Wars, right? If that was more immersive, then perhaps, people would.
Like they had Naboo, for example. Like you take a shuttle to Naboo, or you take a ship to Naboo, or they had
you go into the caves and you can
Mandalore. Like you can go to Mandalore.
Mandalore. You can
that would be really interesting. Yeah,
Dantooine, Jakku, for example.
Yeah, like you're doing a tour of like. And you're touring like the lore, the lore, right? Like almost like you're taking a trip to Israel. We're like, okay, this is where Jesus walked. Okay, this is where Luke,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
This is where Luke did the thing, right? I mean, that would be
cool. And they had to say that they create these biodomes, and you go to them, and on Naboo there's a swimming pool. Like the massive swimming pool in Naboo.
Or like you're swimming in that lake, the one where they're like Padme and Anakin were standing next to, right?
Yeah.
You go to a restaurant, just got like drinks and stuff, and it's run by the Hutts and things like that. Like that would be kind of cool because they in charge of all the gambling and stuff like that. So, like the Hutts. The Hutts are running this kind of club atmosphere, almost like that. Like, you could do those type of things.
Yeah. Like Jar Jar Binks is from Naboo, so that's the water planet, and you go into the water and you see the same species as Jar Jar in the water, like actors. That'd be cool.
They need to put us in charge of that.
Yeah, they should have. Genosis. You go to Genosis and different planets. Genosha,
yeah, we could do all those things.
Yeah, they could have been on the starship, and you go to all these different planets, and in 2 weeks, because it's like, okay, I go to the starship, and I go to Batu, and I go back to the starship, and I go back to Batu, and people go out to Batu and be in Batu all day. And they'll go ride Toy Stories, Slinky Dog. They'll go ride the other rides. Your little daughter wants to go on the carousel. And so by the time you come back, you done missed half the story. because you stayed in the park longer. And then the thing is, the shuttle's only supposed to come certain times, and then it pops back up and it's there. But on top of that news, Bob Iger had an announcement to make to Florida. So Florida's already embroiled in its own lawsuits where you have people of Reedy Creek already suing the two counties that Reedy Creek is in, and suing the governorship, suing his office and everything. Bob Iger came out and said, "Hey, we're canceling our plans to bring $1 billion development here in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
We're canceling it."
Mm-hmm. Well,
and all the people that moved out here, the 2,000 families who are going to move out here to support this thing, they're not going to move now. As a matter of fact, we may move the people that moved out here that didn't want to come out here back to LA and pay for that shit.
And he did say to us, Florida won our billions in dollars in tax revenue and job generation.
Yep. So y'all are going to get this tax revenue. Yeah. And it's bad enough that you all made it against the law for immigrants to work in the city, in the state. So you have construction sites that are unfinished. Disney's construction site cannot be worked on.
Why not?
Because they have migrant workers working on it. There's not enough construction workers.
Hey.
See, this is DeSantis' idea. Okay, we passed this law where we can't have migrant workers working. So that means a lot of Hispanic workers, Latinx workers in particular, because they come from all the Latinx countries and come up into Florida. So none of them are going to be working. You can't hire them. It's $10,000 fine every day for every worker by Florida law now. So all construction work came to a halt. It all stopped. And what he's thinking is good old white boys in poor states are going to move down to Orlando and move down to Florida. And that's not going to happen because they don't want those jobs.
Nope.
Farmers are freaking out in Florida. They can't pick any fruit. Fruit's going to rot on the vine like it did in Alabama. They did the same thing in Alabama. They passed a similar law in Alabama. Then they walked it back. They walked that shit back.
Do we think DeSantis is? Because he seems kind of unhinged.
If he doesn't walk it back, if he walks it back, that's another loser card that Trump's going to play on him. Because Trump's biggest thing is like, so his biggest thing to Trump is, why are we going to vote for a loser? If he walks back any of his policies, Trump's going to call him out on it.
It seems like a lot. I don't think DeSantis necessarily wants to run, and I don't want to get too political. I don't think he wants to run for president.
He's going to announce it, though, because the party's going to make him announce it.
He has not.
He hasn't announced it yet.
Yeah,
but I think he is going to. I think after Bob Iger said, "Oh, this is how you're going to play," we're not coming. We're not bringing the headquarters there.
And he hasn't done any actions that demonstrate he's moving.
He wants to be president.
A presidential run.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything like that.
He's doing absolutely the very opposite. He's fighting against one of the largest employers in his own state, in a part that does support big business in their own state. That's it's interesting. So I don't know. I feel, and I don't want to get too political here, but I don't feel like
he wants to run. But anyway, I hope the families that I know that moved out there and those people that lost their jobs to Disney, I hope Bob Iger finds a way to get them back into the Disney fold. Because there's people that were there 30, 40 years and lost their jobs because they didn't want to move to Florida.
Yeah.
And now he understands for good reason they didn't. Like, I know of a same-sex couple that worked at Disney that had children that fought moving to Florida. They left the park division in order not to move to Florida. And the reason is they said it right. Our daughters cannot talk about us in school.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yep. So we're gonna go to something good.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. We got like 15 more minutes left. And the funk came in. He told us he has some Uzu and mimosa ice cream from 4 Fat Cows in Atlanta. And OMG, It was that delicious. So I think the funk's gonna be boozing it up on ice cream from now on. Every time we're gonna talk to him, he's like, I got this bourbon and brandy ice cream.
Sounds amazing.
It does. It does. It does. It's so funny you say that. I had a friend when I worked for the VC, we were about to invest in his company, and he's a partner in the ice cream company that is all about alcohol.
I've had many alcohol flavored ice cream.
Me too. But he's selling it in stores. They're building it for stores.
Why not? Because you can't get drunk off of them. It's just the flavor. I'm imagining
That's true.
You don't even have to have like an age permit to do it. It's brandy flavored, right?
No, this is alcohol in it, real alcohol.
But the alcohol has got it.
No, it's made with alcohol. It's made so you get fucked up. No, man. No. It's called proof alcoholic ice cream.
Can you get like intoxicated from it?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. I'll put it in the chat for everybody.
I've had many flavored alcohol flavored ice cream.
Yes. Put it this way. It's so flavored that when you come into the website, they say you have to be 21 and over to go into the website.
Because it's like bourbon balls. You don't get drunk from eating bourbon balls.
You can on real bourbon balls. You can.
I've never been. I'm not saying it's not impossible.
No, on real
Every
bourbon balls
that I've ever had, you've never getting drunk.
Yeah, on real bourbon balls you can. Real bourbon balls filled with bourbon. Yeah.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah.
Yes. They have a non-alcoholic version of bourbon balls. You can get bourbon balls that have bourbon in them.
No, you have bourbon in them. I have them with bourbon, but you don't get drunk. You can't get drunk from them.
You eat like 5 of those suckers and you get some high proof bourbon balls.
Nah, man.
Yes. I just sent it over. I just put it in the YouTube chat. But there's a alcohol called Proof, and it's alcoholic ice cream. Yeah, man. We have cannabis CBD ice cream.
So it's like you've got to eat a lot of them to get drunk.
Man, let me tell you something. I've been at parties.
More than likely to experience a sugar high than a buzz.
That's because that's whoever's making it though. That's a bit depending on the maker though too, Randy.
Well, man.
You know, I've had something that get you fucked up.
You ain't got no burn balls to get you fucked up, man.
I know I have some burn balls to get you fucked up.
Man.
You know, like I've had a cannabis bourbon ball. Man, you need to get out your prude ass state. That's what you need to do. Get out your prude ass state.
First of all, I live in a state where they make bourbon. I've lived in a state where they make bourbon.
Yeah, and Bourbon County is dry.
Yeah, they actually make the bourbon that go into the bourbon.
That don't mean nothing.
It doesn't mean something.
It doesn't mean nothing. And if you go to the Maker's Mark bourbon, you go to the Maker's Mark brewery, the distillery, they actually have bourbon balls to get you drunk.
It's like
and Four Roses.
I'm looking at it's like they're saying there's very little chance of becoming drunk. It's more sugar in it. Yeah, they cook all that stuff out of it, man. In most bourbon balls.
Man, let me tell you something. I've had something to get you messed up.
It's not the same as like gummies or something like that. Like the alcohol flavor, alcohol content.
I'm telling you, the bourbon balls I've had here in Los Angeles.
You use the bourbon more for the taste.
Let me tell you something, Randy. I'm telling you, the bourbon balls I had here in Los Angeles will fuck
you
up.
You just have a low alcoholic tolerance, then.
I guess that's it. I guess that's it, Randy. I guess that's it. Yeah. I guess me and everybody else at the Playboy Mansion was just like
rum cakes. You don't get fucked up from eating a rum cake. It's the taste.
No, rum cakes just taste. This just takes you cook it out. But when somebody takes a piece of chocolate with cherries and shit in it and takes a bourbon shot and squeezes it inside the bourbon ball, you're getting fucked up. You're getting fucked up, Randy.
Oh, man.
It's a shot of bourbon. But I put proof alcoholic ice cream in the thing. They make alcoholic ice cream. 7%. 7% of the ice cream, 7% ABV.
I don't see it.
It's in YouTube. Rodney's gonna go buy something right now. Tell him, Rodney. So.
I'm sorry. I was
just eating bourbon balls.
I still don't see it.
Cannabis bourbon balls sound crazy to me, man.
Cannabis bourbon balls. Yes.
I believe it though. I believe it.
This is LA. I've seen salt with bourbon in it. Salt.
I would say we were talking about.
Salt with cannabis in it.
We were talking about Japanese whiskey. And I was remembering that one time when I went to that Spago event, a dinner at Spago, and like it had some really long thing, and it just said Japanese whiskey, and I'm like, I want one of those, and it was so good. It had like a big ass square ice in it. It was just I don't even remember the name of it, but all I know it was Japanese whiskey, and it was so good.
Where'd you put this in the chat? Because I don't see it.
It's in the YouTube chat.
I don't see it.
Above Mark's comments. What's up, guys? It'll get you drunk.
I don't see no chat. I don't see any link.
In YouTube?
I
don't know why you don't see it.
I'm a minute.
I don't see it either.
Yeah.
You don't see it either?
It might have
it says the font talks about Florida, then Mark says, "What's up, guys?" And then Mark says it'll get you drunk.
It might have automatically got deleted because the settings might not allow links.
Oh, I still see it there. They didn't take it out from me. Yeah, I guess they did take it out. I guess they realized I was just alcohol. That's how they show you has liquor in it, Randy. They like YouTube's like, nah, we're not gonna let you put it for this alcoholic beverage.
Listen,
Mark said they don't see it either.
It's called Proof Alcoholic Ice Cream. Alcohol ice cream. You just look up Proof Alcohol Ice Cream. I put it in also our Zoom chat as well.
I see it there now.
Yeah. And it's alcohol, 7% alcohol. Yeah, man. You gotta go to these parties, dog. Get you in these parties right. And it's ice cream.
It's like you're sitting at a bar.
Cream. Yeah, because it's ice cream.
And how much proof? How much is it?
7%.
That's like craft beer, bro. Like craft
beer.
Like
comfortably rooted in the spirits of culture. Our process begins with dedicated partnership with some of the finest distilleries in Kentucky, Tennessee, and worldwide. Our harmonious flavors pairings evolved from a rigorous R&D practice that result in lush, lively, and ultra creamy taste experience featuring 7% ABV. Right?
Order online, order now.
Order now. You can order it online right now. They got strawberry moonshine, bourbon caramel, mocha chocolate moonshine, coconut rum, cheesecake moonshine, blackberry moonshine, apple pie moonshine, pumpkin spice moonshine, peppermint moonshine, bourbon chocolate cherry, pistachio rum.
There's a bunch of like straight up alcoholics out there going like,
screw
the ice cream, just give me the alcohol.
So there used to be an alcohol bar up the street from me next to Forage, which is a pho place, and they sell alcohol ice cream as well. I've had alcohol ice cream a number of times and got lit.
I've had alcohol ice cream. I've never gotten drunk from it.
Cause you ain't good. Cause y'all got that pansy shit. Y'all got that pansy shit.
You don't even know where I got it from. So what are you talking about?
I know it ain't on the West Coast, the best coast, baby.
Oh Lord. What are you?
They're right.
The West
Coast, the best coast, man.
West Coast, best coast.
Y'all Tupac got
it. Look, we don't even have. That's just facts, bro.
Facts.
That's just facts. We don't even have to say it. We don't even have to say it. Like it's just facts, man.
The word best cause it came out of the West.
Oh Lord.
Like,
so the word best. So the word
people are like, yo, that's the West, dog. That's the West. And the West is like, no, that's not from our side. So y'all have to use another letter. That guy will use the letter B instead.
Really? So we can't trace the word best back before Americans really moved out west. Really?
I'm pretty sure it's in
Lord.
The etymology of that
I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Stop hating. You a hater. You a hater.
Mark says that ain't your granddad's ice cream.
That ain't your granddad's ice cream. Yeah, that's at the I think there's the actual ice cream that they used to sell at father's office. That ain't your granddad's ice cream.
And by the way, this is not a paid advertisement. This is
not. This
well, maybe we need to. Maybe
a hearty endorsement from Chuck. The sweet tooth alcoholic of the Geek Network.
Alcoholic that loves ice cream.
That loves ice cream.
That's right.
Hey,
that's right.
It might be a good idea to see if we
can.
Sponsor us. Proof of life. We need proof of life. I said proof of life.
No, it's a guy I know named Dirk Brown. He's a technology executive, and he's at Proof right now.
Proof of alcoholic.
He said, Chuck, we're doing an investor round for Proof Alcohol ice cream with friends and family. I want to know if you want to come in. I got his LinkedIn too late. He wanted it to decide by May 12th, but it's May 19th. Hopefully he'll ping me back because I'm like, yo, I'm down with the Proof ice cream. I'm down with this. And my ex business partner in Jet Setter Fresh, he makes cannabis ice cream.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yep, and he works for an ice cream company.
That makes sense because all edibles.
I'm not going to say his name, but he works on 2 important ice cream lines in America that do well. He says sometimes I'm at home and I just make my own ice cream. He said one time his son got into it and was lit. The chocolate.
Don't say his name.
I'm not gonna say his name. But he said, yeah. He's I was looking at the boy. I was watching him one day. He's like 15 years old. He said he's acting weird. He says the first thing I did was get him going to the back of the freezer and see if my ice cream was there. And I saw half of it was eaten out. I went in and asked him, I was like, yo, did you eat my ice cream? He was like, nah, Dad. I didn't eat your ice cream. He says, you didn't eat my ice cream? He said, no. He said, let's go run around the block. He said, Dad, I don't think I can run.
That's funny.
See, Mark knows Chuck is plugged in. Every which way you can be lit. It's right, man. I'm like Hunter S. Thompson in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I come with the suitcase.
From Chuck talking about eating sushi off women's bodies. And...
well, that's common, right? That's the common.
Is that common? It's in fun Japan. Though. It is fun. It is. I mean, it's not common in Japan.
Alcoholic ice cream.
Cannabis ice cream.
Bourbon balls.
With actual bourbon in them.
Yeah, I know I've heard the thing about eating.
I'm like, what? I mean, life is short, you guys.
Yeah, man. So you should enjoy.
You know, I'm not telling you to do heroin. I'm not gonna say go do some heroin or fentanyl or nothing like that. Here's some oxy.
We do not endorse. We do not endorse heroin and fentanyl, please.
I'm not gonna tell you to do that stuff. But if you do,
none of that. If you're over 21, get your alcoholic ice cream.
That's right. 21 alcoholic. Do everything legally responsible.
Right. If you're an alcoholic diabetic, don't do it.
Don't do it. It ain't gonna do you no good. There's nothing good gonna come out of that.
Lords, this is what happens on these happy hour conversations.
And don't be lactose intolerant. On top of
it's true. Yeah, I was just about to say I don't see any lactose free ice cream over here. That might be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, I don't think I think they substitute the lactose with the alcohol.
Yeah, I'll just pop some Lactaid before I definitely try some of this. I would try.
I'm gonna order me some.
I said we all order. I said we order it for the happy hour and share it. And I would share it with Dirk. Like, Dirk, we supporting your brand. Y'all should support us because this would be great to have on the loading bar.
Oh yeah.
Mark's comments, Dad, for some reason I'm really hungry. That ice cream wasn't filling. The bubble blue of ice cream. Oregon does too. Yep. No, this is hilarious. Oh man, we at the end of the show, you guys. I got to go watch the greatest movie franchise of all time, latest installment.
Lord, you tell us how it is.
I will tell you. I'll tell you.
You mean
Trash.
you mean you're gonna go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
Oh,
That's what it is? That's what
nah.
you're gonna go see
I'm
Super
seeing
Mario
Fast
Brothers?
X. I'm seeing Fast X, named after Malcolm X.
Oh Lord, no, he didn't. Lord, he trying to get us canceled. He trying to get us canceled.
More than that, man. More than
Talk about Fast X.
These are like Malcolm X.
Oh Lord,
Nation of Islam is coming to that.
right?
We visit us.
Exactly. We about.
Oh shit!
That was not me. That was not me.
Rolling in his grave.
It was not me. It was him. It was that guy. It was
that guy.
This is the world he dreamed about, you guys. Diverse. You got diverse family. You got.
You not gonna make me it. The nation. It was not me. It was not at Johnny Randolph. Please do not tweet me.
You know, Ludacris and Tyrese are the ministers in the Nation of Islam in this movie.
Lord.
Imagine if that really was it. Like they put the X there because it's like the crossover no one ever thought would happen. Fast and Furious and Malcolm X.
Oh man! I would go watch. Did not know that.
Tech check with bean pies.
They have an ice cream truck with bean pies. Ice cream truck with bean pies. Oh man! It could be that crazy, you guys. We don't know what we're going to expect. I will.
What's the runtime?
I'm gonna attack Chuck with bean pies.
Yeah, that's what Mark said. Gonna attack him with bean.
What's the runtime on that?
Like 2 hours. I don't understand how they get that, but hey, I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna let y'all know on Monday how good this movie is.
This is gonna be
I'm ready for those serves.
This is gonna be 20 minutes of Vin Diesel talking about family.
Yes. Every movie.
It's just gonna be 20 minutes.
The runtime is 2 hours and 21 minutes.
21 minutes. 2 hours and 21 minutes, bro.
I'm excited. Come on. Who's ready for this? Shout out to Digital Click for making us look good. Shout out to Rodney for being here on Friday with us. Shout out to Randy. Shout out to Mark and the Funk for creating our stories we never got to today. We got stuck in the Disney story. We done the Disney World.
Nation of Islam. It was just
the Nation of Islam and the Fast and the Furious.
It was
Lord,
just a joke.
I had to say, you don't get many conversations with all those elements thrown into it all at once.
All at once.
Please send us.
We're swag geeking
alcohol,
over here.
Ice cream.
We're geek surfing. As Lil Wayne say, swag surfing. No, we're geek surfing. We just hit all the geekest topics in one day. I'm gonna let y'all know how this Fast and the Furious movie is gonna go down.
I'm sure we're gonna hear about it.
I like how you did that, Rodney.
We'll hear about it on Mondays.
We'll hear about it.
We'll hear about it on Mondays.
Man.
On Mondays, Fast and Furious podcast. I mean, GeekBeast.
Yeah, GeekBeast, the Fast and Furious podcast. I'm at the Cop and Pie Squadron and talk about it.
Lord.
I mean, technically, a bunch of cars is like a squadron, a pod.
Pod racers.
I mean,
yeah, technically the same thing.
Please don't tell them that. And the pod racers would show up and Fast.
Hey, I will say that Star Wars and Fast have the same thing in common. They're both fantasies.
Yes, they are. They are both.
There's some fantastical elements happening in both.
All the time.
That defy gravity, physics, all that stuff.
They have a bomb that rolls down the street, you guys. A nuclear bomb that rolls down the street. Where else can I get that? Lord.
Have fun.
I will. Thank you guys for tuning in for the show. We'll be back on Monday where I'll talk about Fast and the Furious and make Randy go see it because he really wants to go see this movie. I tell everybody, go suspend your knowledge of physics and logic and go and enjoy the movie. All right. Peace, you guys.
Have a great weekend, everybody.